Linda. Excuse the earthquake here. Hi, everyone. Okay. So who's ready to make some pages? Are we watching or are we making pages? Watching? All right. My camera is so having a hard time today. I think that's better. Just getting ready here. As usual, I've got people texting me. So I'm gonna wait for a couple more to join us. Okay, sounds good, Marshall. Don't forget, this is the project recipe we're going to be going through tonight, and and I'm not using the train paper. I never use the paper that oh, no worries. I never use the paper that is in the example, because one of the reasons I do that is I want you to see what it looks like without the paper, because I think sometimes people get stuck. They will see the project recipe and they'll think, oh, I have to have this paper, in order to do this layout. And so I definitely like to show you doing it different ways, using different things. And if you were on last month, you saw that I had to flip my page over and do it upside down. But I should not have to do that tonight, because I made sure I had the right amount of portrait photos and landscape photos. So tonight we're gonna cut 3 pages. Usually you cut 2. And as usual, if you would like me to send you a PDF of this project recipe, then just put that in the comments that you want me to send you this PDF, and I will email it to you. I can't post a PDF on the page. I can't post a link to a PDF, so I might just add that to the event later, a link to the PDF. But if you want one, I'm happy to send it to you so that you can do it at a later date. My son provided the photos for my page tonight. I said, hey, I want to use my new Flip Flop Border Maker punch. And so I've got that right here. Love this new punch. And so I said, I need some beach themed pictures. He was happy to provide them for me. So with that, I think we can go ahead and start cutting. I'm just going to explain a little bit, once again, about the project recipe. So the project recipe is something that Creative Memories comes out with and they feature some of the new paper packs. So these come out every month, sometimes, you know, several in a month. And what we're going to do here is there's instructions on what to cut. So this page shows you the letters, and they correspond to these pieces that we're going to cut out. And then down here on the bottom, it tells you what photo sizes you need to cut your photos to. And so I will cut my photos at the end, and we'll complete this 2-page spread. I'm going to try to move slow because some people watching are going to actually be making the pages as I go. So I'm going to be talking about measurements and kind of talking you through. So if you want to make the pages and you've got some paper handy, you want to have 2 pieces of paper for your backgrounds. We're not going to cut those. So either 2 pages if you're working in a traditional paper scrapbook, or 2 papers that you want to use for your backgrounds. And then you need 3 additional papers. They can be reversible, and you'll see on some of the instructions it says reverse. That's meant to be that you flip it to the other side just to basically add another you know, color to your spread. So the paper I'm going to be using is actually from a consultant only pack. It's called Painted Prairie, and this is the pack of paper actually that I'm going to be doing a drawing for tonight. So I don't know if you saw the post. I posted it about an hour ago, a reminder about the project recipe class, and I said if you tagged a friend or if you shared the post, that you'd be entered into the drawing. So I'm on Facebook Live right now, but before I went live, there were 4 of you that were in the drawing. So if there's still time for you to share, I'm going to do the drawing when I'm done with the pages. So you can still tag a friend in the comments or, you know, or share. So glad to have you all here, and we can get started with cutting our pages. I love this Painted Prairie paper pack. And so I was really excited to give one of those away tonight. Okay. So we're going to go to our cutting guide now, and we're going to start with designer page 1. All right, and for me, that is going to be this paper. So I'm going to kind of move everything off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and cut everything first, and then we'll assemble. So this is going to be my first page. I like to check the back, because if the direction of the print is going a certain way, sometimes, you know, you want it to lay a certain way on your page. Okay. So our first cut, it goes in alphabetical order. So it's really easy to follow the directions if you haven't done them before, if this is your first one and you're just watching. Oh, good. Great, Gal. Then you'll see how easy it is. All right, so cut A is 1/2 inch by 12. So we're just gonna follow right along. And this is my Creative Memories straight trimmer. I'm actually gonna go this way for the 1/2 inch. All right, so 1/2 inch by 12. And you know how much I love this trimmer. Then the next one is 2 inches. So first cut is at a 1/2 inch. Second cut is 2 inches. And then the next cut, and that's here, whoops, C and D, is 2 4x6s. So we're going to cut at 4 inches. It's 4 inches across. And then we're going to cut at 6 inches. Now to get at 6 inches, I need to unfold my little guide here and go out to 6 inches. Okie doke. And we got our 2 mats. All right, the next cut is at 3 inches. And then we're gonna cut 2 4-inch pieces. Thank you, Marshall. Okay, we got our two 4-inch pieces. And this is a scrap, and that's indicated by these white and black lines down here. So I'm just gonna put that over to the side. I may decide to punch something out of it or do something else. Now what we've got left is a 2.5-inch piece. And if you've cut correct, then that should line up right there. And then we wanna cut that by 8, or if you don't wanna flip out your thing, you can cut it at 4 and just keep the 8-inch piece. Was that confusing? Save yourself a flip out. You can flip it out and cut at 8, or in this case, I just cut at 4 because I was lazy. Okay, and I get the same result. So I've got all of my pieces for designer paper 1. All right, we're gonna move on to designer paper 2. Again, I'm gonna check to see which way I'm gonna orient the page. And so I've got flowers on this side where it won't matter. On this side, I have some lines. So I actually, because this is the one I'm gonna cut my flip-flops out of, I kind of want them to run along the same direction. I don't want them to go this way. So I'm gonna leave it oriented like this. And we're gonna start with the first cut, which is H, and that's 2 by 12. So we're gonna go 2 by 12 on this one. Okay, put that to the side. Now these little tiny ones are hard to see, but there is a little arrow, and like I said, they do go alphabetical order. So we have H, now we have I, and so I is a 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna just take it from this side because again, it's just a little small piece, and I like to cut my small pieces off this way because the guide kind of holds everything in place better. All right, so there's my I, and now I've got J, K, L, and those are gonna be all the same, 5 inches by 3 3/4, and we're gonna have a little bit left over. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that at 5 inches. And then 3 3/4 times 3. And I will never stop talking about how much I love this trimmer. I know your choice in trimmers is very personal, and I know there's lots of trimmers out there on the market, but I love the white and black. It's so easy to see the markings. I use this tool so much. Okay, we've cut J, K, and L, and now M is just kind of left for you to punch borders and shapes. And when we look at where M is on this guide, it's just a strip across, but that's not like a specific measurement. You can see in the sample what they did was they used the new train track punch, border punch here. So so we're gonna use the flip-flops. So this whole piece I'm gonna set aside, and we're gonna come back to that, and I'm gonna punch some things out of there. All right, so now we've come to our last page, and I decided that I'm going to use this paper for my background. And so with that, and there's these little white specks, and there's like white accents in the paper, I chose to do white cardstock as my third sheet. So this is my third sheet, and I'm gonna use white cardstock here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in to 3 inches, right? N is 3 by 12. And then the rest of it is 9, and we're gonna cut off a 3-inch piece, and so that will leave us with a 9x9 square. And this is kind of a cool effect. I do this a lot in my paper pages and my digital pages too. What's happening here is this square, this 9x9 square, and this 3x9. So it kind of carries across the 2-page spread. And I like the way that looks, so I do that a lot in my paper and in my digital books. Alrighty, well, now that everything is cut, it is time for us to assemble. It's really quick. Like I said, when you're working on your own with one of these, you can of course move much faster. I'm trying to stay at a decent pace so that those of you who are working along with me don't get lost in the weeds here. Okay, so what we've got is we need A and H. Well, A was this first little skinny piece. Oh, sorry. Okay, and then H was our first 2-inch piece over here. All right, so here's this. It's kind of a surprise because you kind of pick your coordinating paper. You're not really sure what you're gonna get until you start really laying it all out. Okay, so that's our big white piece. That's O. We're gonna do our flip-flops across the top here. And then we need our 2 bigger mats. And G, which was the 2x8. That's this one. Now I can leave it like this, or you might want to reverse it. That's the beauty of having the reverse. If there's not enough contrast or it doesn't look the way you thought it would, you always can, flip things around until you get the combination that you want. What I'm going to do with this strip is this is part of the print, but I kind of like the way that is, so I think I'm going to do some flip-flops along this strip too. But we're going to go ahead and put this page together now that we got it kind of laid out. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. My tape runner here. And I think I am going to use the back side of this just to mix it up. And then these are going to go on like this. And with this one, not really sure what I want to do. I think I want to keep it that way. I think I'm going to keep it on the dark blue. Just kind of go with that. Now, I've showed this before on my Border Maker Tool Time with Tara, but now I've cut this piece and I've decided that I wanted to do the Border Maker strip. And as you know, if you've watched me before, if you've been to my crops, you know how much I love this. Well, these magnets are what hold the paper in place. Well, I don't know if you caught that, but the paper wasn't long enough to do that. So one of my little kind of aha moments when I have these little pieces of paper was that you can use it like this. It is much, much easier to use the border making system the way it was intended, but you can you can kind of eyeball it this way. And actually, this particular cartridge is very easy to do that because of the way the flip-flops are. It's not like it's a vine or something that connects. There's this empty space in between. So you can kind of do it holding it like I did freehand. So that's just, if you haven't tried that before and you're faced with like a little scrap piece of paper that you really wanted to use your border maker with, then you can try that. Well, hi Sue, glad you're on here. And I'm super excited that you won the little jewel applicator. And somebody's gonna win some paper tonight. Okay, I'm gonna just match that up. Okay, so there's my flip-flops. That page is done. No, it's not. Just kidding. I need to move this down. I forgot we were supposed to have flip-flops across the top too. Because here on our guide is the M, and the M was this large chunk that we cut here that says to punch, to use your border maker punch. So now I'll show you how the border maker, for those of you that don't have this tool, is really intended to be used and how easy it is. So the guide flips out, this flips up, and these are magnets that hold the paper in place. We flip this back down and fold it underneath, and now the perfect amount of paper is out. Then we've got our tool. It's got a little notch on the front, and these notches line up with the notches here on the top of the tool. So we just press and press and press and keep going. Okay. Now, if I had planned to looked ahead, maybe I wouldn't have done it in the peach, because now I've got peach on peach. But that's okay. We're just gonna take off these flip-flops, use them for another purpose, and I'm gonna cut them out on the blue instead. And that way it'll be a little bit easier to see. A little bit more of a pop for our flip-flops here. I think that's better. What do you think? You guys are the experts. Okay. That'll be much better to see. Ah, much better to see the flip-flops. Alright, I'm gonna cut it a little on the big side so that I can and this was 9 inches. So I'm gonna cut at 9, or 12 minus 9 is 3. So I'm just gonna cut it at 3 and save this for the other page. Okay. Or do I like it like this? What do you think? I think like this. Oh, goody. So glad, Lori. Of course, I'm reading your comments, and so people are probably, what did she just say oh goody about? But I'm so glad that you got your flip-flops. More fun punches are on their way. Okay. All right, so now this page. Okie doke. Let's see. This page, we've got our B, that's here, 2 by 12. So B goes here, and then we have this small strip, which I'll probably match this way. And then we've got a white strip. We connect this one over here. We're gonna line that up. We've got these two. That'll be photo mats. And then we have 3 of these. And I'm not sure which way I'm going to do them yet. Maybe like this. So those 3 go along there. But I'm not sure how I feel about the vertical lines. So I think I'm probably gonna go with that. And let's put this paper over here and see how these look lined up here. All right. Now it's time to stick down here. All right, the reason why I'm lining those up is I want this white to, yeah, isn't this paper beautiful? I want this white to line up right across my 2-page spread. And now my next big decision is to go with the dark blue mats, mix it up, go with the light green. I think I'm gonna go with the dark. Okie doke. Add on this side over here. And this piece. There's so much you can, well, hi, welcome. There's so much you can do with the 2-sided paper. I mean, the combinations are really just kind of endless. Okey-doke. Now stick these down, and then we're ready to add the pictures. And this 2-page spread is almost done. Okay, I'm gonna refer to my guide here to see how far over these are going and how far up. It's pretty close to the top of the page before I stick them all the way down. Kind of space them. Of course, you could also bump one out this way, and I think I'll do that. We'll add some more flip-flops. Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and, let's see. Yeah, that's green. I'm gonna trim off some of this. Now again, we're gonna have, this piece was 3.5, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim it so that it's the right width. Sorry, I off-roaded a little bit. Sometimes you just can't help it. But that's the beauty of, yeah, this is true, Stacy. That's the beauty of that, I'm just losing my train of thought here. That is the beauty of these project recipes. My goodness, my brain tonight. You know what it is? I'm distracted because I have a house full of college people right now, and I got a notification that my internet was slow. Well, mind you, we're all into computers here, so we have a very fast internet connection. So I'm thinking, what are people trying to do on the internet when they know I am on Facebook Live right now? You know, it's mom problems. I know some of you can identify with network issues and sharing. They're probably all trying to stream something while I'm doing this. Okay, so we're going to add the rest of this little piece up here. The rest of our flip-flops there. And now we can add our photos. All right, so I've got our photos, and on the second page, it has our photo sizes. So 2 3¼ by 5 3/4, 2 2¼ by 3 3/4, and then 3 4 3/4 by 3.5. Alrighty. So I'm going to use these two pictures of Aiden, and these are 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So we're just cutting a 1/4 inch off of each one of these. So he's pretty centered. I'm not going to fuss too much about it. I am going to just take a little bit off at either side. Okay, and then I can just take it off. Well, I think I'm going to take it off the bottom. All right. This one I can take off all on one side. As my kids get older, I'm there less and less to actually take these pictures, but my son was very generous today and airdropped me some so that I can print out some for this page. All right, and now the pictures for these ones. So we've got 2 3/4 by 3. For this one, I'm going to use my Creative Memories, my personal trimmer, for these smaller pictures. So 2 3/4 Gonna lose a lot of this picture, which I'm a little sad about. So 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. It's fun to see some new people on our stream tonight. If this is your first time here, well, I kind of like, you know, some places, Marshall, have the luster where it's kind of like a cross between a matte and a glossy. Now, of course, my son sent me these this morning, so I uploaded them to Walgreens and picked them up in 1 hour. So I really couldn't be choosy. But normally I kind of go toward the matte. It's my personal preference. Okay, so now I've got just let's see. It's really funny what younger people, you know, my son is really into taking pictures this summer, so it's cool to see things through his eyes. So here he's taking pictures in the mangroves. Now this one is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So this trimmer goes out to 5 to the edge, and if you have this trimmer, there's this little notch here, and that, if you flush out to there, that's 5. So we're gonna go to 4 3/4 here. I think I'm gonna take it off this side. And then again, 3.5. I think I'll take some off of this side and some. Three and a half by 4 3/4. We're almost done. I think I'll take most of it off that side, a smidge off this side. Okay. All right, and all right, now is the moment of truth for this 2-page spread, this project recipe. So again, we went from, here's our project recipe, and these are the finished pages with all the glare that you could ever want from the glossy photos. All right, I like it. Okay, well now it's time to give away a paper pack. We're gonna give away this paper pack. Yay. I'm gonna talk about a few things while I'm writing down a couple more names on here. Looking at who has shared this post. And so I do have 2 spots left for my card class next Tuesday night. It's like a dark botanical, and with butterflies, it's purples and blacks, there's jewels, It's very cool. So I do have 2 more sets of those. So if you are interested in joining us for that, I would love to have you. Okay. So sorry here. I am just making sure that I've got everybody on here. And I need to have an assistant next time, right? So that we can be faster. But also, if you've made the pages along with me tonight, or if you make them later and you would love to share them, I would know that we would love to see them. So please do that. Okay. Alrighty. I think I've got everybody on here, and cutting these little pieces up to my little bowl here. Okay, I'm gonna give them a stir here, and we will see who the lucky winner is. I got you, Stacy. I saw that you shared earlier today. Okay, the winner is Brandy Knoll. Look at my sloppy handwriting, but congratulations. You have become a frequenter of my bench in my front porch, Brandy, so you know the way to the porch. I will definitely have that out there for you. And thank you all for joining us tonight. You can still watch when this is done. And how about this? I've got another paper pack that I'll do another drawing for everyone. Okay, Brandy, I'll put it out for you. For everyone that shares their page, I'll put a link up to the PDF if you do these pages. Whoever does a 2-page spread using this project recipe by the end of this weekend and posts it in the feed here on this video, I'll do another drawing for another one of these paper packs. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait to see your pages. Congratulations, Brandy. And I can't wait to give another one of those paper packs away. So thanks everyone for joining. Stay scrappy, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.